breakfast.
Issues of the day under T-Radar.
T-Radar with his issues today. Good morning to you, T-Radar.
Good morning to you, Wammo. Aren't they precociously talented, those young people?
Too much talent.
Too much talent. Imagine them all in a room. You could just about taste the talent on the tip of your tongue.
They're like some kind of musical Voltron.
That's right, yes. There'd be a sort of a swirling orb of creativity in which you could immerse yourself.
And
if it rubs off.
Well, quite opposite to the end of that spectrum probably would be Justin Bieber.
Yes, auto-tuned and sort of, precocious, I suppose, and sort of, I would imagine, making the most of his voice before it breaks and changes forever. As you recall, he came visiting a little while ago, and the police have just released the figures for what it cost, in terms of police hours to look after him. So rather than be out sort of, stopping criminals from conducting criminal behaviour, the police, 30 policemen, took 161 police hours to look after him while he was here.
How much did that cost?
They didn't actually say what it cost. Well, that's what they took. So there were 12 police officers at the airport for 72 hours. There were 2 police officers for 5 hours just randomly driving past his hotel, and then there were some more officers at the school, and then some more when he left. So yes, all up, quite a significant amount. And they had at the school they had ambulances and a rapid response 4-wheel drive in case anyone got crushed in the melee. Well, it's all very sort of Beatlesque, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, and in a tween kind of way, protecting tweens from breaking down the fabric of society. Exactly,
and yet at the same time they still managed to sort of reach out with their clammy little teen hands and grab the fabric of his hat and run away.
You know what tweens grow up into? They grow up into teenagers who eventually go to university and burn couches.
They do, although in some ways only one couch burned. Well, and I don't know if it was a symbolic couch in Dunedin over the weekend. The end of 2 glorious institutions. Carisbrook, of course, the House of Pain gone, but then Gardy's supposed to close on Saturday, but then all of a sudden closed Friday. The university who've brought it, and I'm not sure what they're going to do with it, whether they're going to knock it down and build some apartments. They paid the owner a substantial sum to close it a day early so that they didn't have any trouble. They didn't have everyone flocking down there and burning couches and getting drunk and merry. But I hadn't realised that also there was another pub called the Bowler, quite an institution in Dunedin, bought that, the university did, turned it into lecture theatres. Which is odd, because I would have imagined that people who had been visiting the Bowler over the years would have had quite a lot of life experience and education in that establishment. One of the more notorious ones. So, there it is, all closed. But, yes, only a single couch burnt. Disappointing.
Only a single couch. You'd have fond memories of for drinking at those establishments, wouldn't you, T-Radar?
Yeah, sort of. Never really drank at the Bowler, and I really only drank at the Gardy's sort of during the off-peak hours. Because people who drank there at the peak hours were all a little bit sort of cretinous. No disrespect if you are one of them.
Oh, no, I saw it. I saw a very brave TVNZ journalist on the news at 8 on TVNZ 7 doing a live cross from there. Much more dangerous than being in the thick of it in Afghanistan or anywhere like that.
More dangerous than being in the midst of a Bieber throng?
Yeah, potentially. Yes. Very well done to that journalist.
Yes, no, I enjoyed it during the day. I played a wonderful game of pool there. Once sank everything off the break.
Oh, well done.
Not all at once, not with one shot, obviously. And the only person who saw it was the guy I was playing with and an old drunk man who was sitting in the corner, and the bartender was reading his news.
So it never happened.
Several years ago. Nonetheless, countdown to summer's started.
Really?
Who knew?
But winter just began yesterday. Winter solstice?
You'd think winter had just begun, but apparently, I love those kind of celebristic, I don't even know if that's a word, celebratory celebration headlines in the newspapers where you think, here's winter solstice. Instead of going, hooray, it's winter solstice, because we've passed it, the Herald this morning went, no, countdown to summer has started. We're on our way to glorious sunny days.
Well, if the Herald said it, must be true.
Must be true. And, and I tell you, I feel perkier already. Makes me want to go out and think of some way to promote New Zealand in a wonderful kind of manner. For example, building an enormous rugby ball and taking it around the world.
I think that's been done, T-Radar.
It has been done, and again, look, it's a day of tallying up facts and figures today. $300,000 a day it cost overall for the ball. It was sort of $10.6 million to build, transport, and operate for a total of 33 days. And they say that of the 48 or 46,000 visitors who came, it cost $226 each to have them there.
Golly gosh,
that's a lot of money. But then they said, well, there's the promotion and the online coverage, but then they said the report said there was a potential audience of 15.7 billion.
Hang on. How many people in the world, T-Radar?
Yeah, no, not 15.7 billion.
Right.
And also, how many of those people in the world also have access to the internet? So, something a little bit askew there with their figures, I suspect.
Where is the ball at the moment? Do we know? Where in the world is the ball?
No. It's probably put up in a box, in the back of a warehouse with the Ark of the Covenant. Indiana Jones is still attempting to find it. No, I suspect they'll pack it up and they'll bring it back here, I would think.
Yeah.
So that we can have a look at it. Because, if you spend all that money on it, there's nothing we want more than an enormous rugby ball somewhere on the waterfront. So we can go and, I don't even know what was in it. Bit of sort of, view of New Zealand or something.
Yeah. No idea. I wonder, was it as valuable as the feather that recently went up for auction?
No, well, the old saying, knock me down with a feather. The huia, extinct in 1907, I believe, apparently a beautiful bird used for adornment. Feather went on sale at an auction house. They expected $500 to $700, which is a pretty hefty sum for a figure. $8,400 it finally went for.
Wow.
Mystery bidder on the phone.
Yeah, well, I suppose, the huia being extinct, what did the huia look like?
Well, I don't know. Well, it was a blackbird, and it had white-tipped feathers with orange-red wattle and a deep, melodious call. The female's bill was long, slender, and curved. I say that as if I'm some kind of ornithologist or bird enthusiast, but really I just read it off the internet.
You know what I think? It can't have been very smart.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it was friendly. Maybe that was the thing. Maybe it was a friendly bird.
Too friendly for its own good.
Yeah, well, see, the kakapo, which is on the verge of extinction, that was friendly. They said it was friendly like a kitten or a lamb. You'd be sitting down and it would come and roll around and play with you. Also, apparently quite smelly.
Oh, really?
And tasty.
A kakapo does look very cuddly. I'd love to give it a good hug. It'd be quite nice.
Yeah, they do. If only we could have wouldn't it be great if you could have a breeding program where you could pay like a substantial amount of money and you could have your own one and look after it and breed from it, like a sort of outsourcing the kakapo.
Yeah. Oh, it's like commercialising the kakapo. Yeah, as long as I got one hug a week.
Exactly. Let's suggest that to someone in National, because that kind of user pays system, I'm sure, in conservation would go down a treat. Let's start a movement.